5 o'clock on the Wednesday, and it's time for
a Craig and Ryland's Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show. We are looking at 4 tricks this week. The last couple of weeks we've had nothing but good tricks. However, there's a bit of a stinker this week. There's got 4 really good. No, there's 3 really good tricks. There's one that's a bit of a stinker. You hate it. I'm kind of about it. But you know, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. Let's get straight onto it with this week's reviews. Okay, so the first trick we're looking at is Mental Block by Dan Harlan and Penguin Magic. Now, Mental Block is basically Dan's presentation and handling for the colour vision block. Now, if you don't know what the colour vision block is, it's a very old trick that's been around for years. About 6 months ago, we reviewed Brent Braun's version of this, didn't we?
Yeah, it's like a blue blocks with different colours. But
yeah, and it's really good. You've done that a lot of time.
This is not colours. This is to do with something else. So
yeah.
I'll perform it to show you. I'll perform it.
Yeah, I'm going to get you to perform it in a second. But before we do that, there are differences between this and the colour vision block.
Yeah.
Yeah. You love Brent's trick. You gave it a really good review, and I've seen you perform it absolutely tons of times. You did it on a review show, Revisited.
But this is the one I'm going to say with.
Really? Genuinely, we've not discussed this. You actually prefer this to Brent's?
Yes.
Because I actually think I prefer Brent's. That's interesting. I love this, but I think I prefer Brent's. Why don't you perform it first of all, and then we'll have a bit of a discussion about it, okay?
Okay.
So this is a performance of Mental Block by Dan Harlan.
Do you know your 5 senses?
I do.
Well, what are they then?
Smell.
Yes.
Taste.
Yes.
Sight.
Yes.
Hearing.
Yes.
Touch.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, now this is like a little dice with a little box here. The lids you can put on. You can't see through it, obviously.
Nope.
So that'd be weird. Obviously, you can put the dice in. It's perfect fit. You can put the lid on. Right, this is to do like your 5 senses.
Okay.
We've got a little dice here with it's got 1, 2, and 3, and A, B, and C. C for cat, B for ball, A for apple. 1 is in a star. You've got 2 in a square, and 3 in a triangle. And maths, that probably is. But you've got 3, 2, and 1 all in shapes.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing we'll do is sight. So choose the colour and put it in. Put the lid on.
Will?
Yeah.
And you can see, yeah?
Yeah, was it sight? Now that's apple that's red. With an A.
That's not very impressive because...
Yeah, because that's sight.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one. Next we'll do touch.
Really?
Yes, we'll do touch next. Okay, so I'm going to look away and I want you to put it in. I want you to put it in my hands and then I'm just going to feel the top.
And what do you want? Put it in any way round? Like?
Yeah, anyway, just remember what your top one is.
Oh, you've got to remember the top one?
Yeah. Then I'm going to try, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do it with my sense.
Okay.
Feel.
Done.
Okay, so, you ready?
Of course I'm ready, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take it out now.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to put it on the table a little bit.
What are you doing?
Feel it. I'm touching it.
Okay. It's kind of weird.
It's a star, isn't it? It's a green star. It's a maths, obviously. 3.
Yes, it is. yes, okay.
Look, next we'll do hearing next.
What?
Yeah, we'll do hearing next.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to look away.
You want me to remember it again?
Yeah. So hearing now.
Want me to put it in your hand again, or you turn?
Turn.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah?
Okay. So I'm going to put it up to my ear and shake it. No, is that not enough? Is that enough? No, I can't figure it out. Okay, that's the third. Okay, so now I can tell it's purple, it's in a square, and it's a tooth.
Yes, you're right.
Next we'll do smell.
You're going to smell the box.
Yes, if I figure it out. Come on.
Okay.
You're the one who got me the trick.
Okay. Go ahead and smell the box, Ryland.
Okay, so take it up. Okay, that's a B. B for ball. B for blue as well. Here. We'll do it again. That's taste.
You're going to taste the box?
Yes.
Weirdo. Okay. No, actually. Can't wait to see this.
Okay, so let's just do a recap. First thing, well, I'm not going to open it, but first thing we did is sight.
Yeah.
Then we did hearing.
Oh, we did touch then?
Oh, yeah.
Hearing.
Then we did touch. Then we did hearing.
Yeah.
And then we did smell.
Yes, and you sniffed it.
Yeah, so I'm going to taste it now.
Okay.
Taste it.
You're going to taste it.
Can't figure it out. Do you know why?
What? Why?
Tasted it too much. It's all gone.
I love that. Brilliant. Okay, I have to admit that presentation is brilliant, and to be honest,
Wait till you see the trick later.
okay, well, I know you've been practicing the presentation for this quite a lot, and I do love the presentation of having 5 senses and you know, you can use the different senses to work out what the block is that they've put in there. That is actually a really smart presentation. I also like the vanish when the block vanishes at the end. I think that's really cool. First time I saw this on the trailer, I assumed that the vanish was done with a gimmicked box and somehow there was a flap or something like that.
No, there's not.
But there's not. It's basically just very simple misdirection and
That's how
sleight
they
of
can
hand.
examine it.
Yeah, everything's like examinable at the end.
And you can make the box. You can make the dice sort of thing reappear if you want to. You just gotta keep your hand in the pocket when you're doing the last stuff, and you go.
Well, there is an extra phase on the tutorial, isn't there, where once you've made the block disappear, he then says, grab anything, grab something and put it in there, and I'll see if I can work out what it is. And he shakes it and he tells them what's in there. And, you know, you and I both decided that wasn't a great finale to it, in our opinion, because it's a bit anticlimactic. I think that the best moment is when the dice disappears or the block disappears and then that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Or you could just carry on and just, like, you take the, thing where it's hiding and just go.
I don't think you bring it back. I think it's
well,
really...
if you want them to look at the dice and that, just to make sure they think the good dice is not gimmicked.
Yeah.
Because if it's disappearing and then reappearing, they're going to think there's something going on. So you can make it reappear and then you can give them the dice and they.
You know what I would probably do?
it's-
I'd make it, if I was going to make it reappear, I'd make it reappear under misdirection. I'd do like some pocketing and I'd put it in somebody's pocket when they weren't looking. Or I'd put it on the table when they're not looking, so then when they just see it reappear on the table or something. I wouldn't make a big deal of it reappearing. If you were going to make it reappear, I think it'd just be something that happens later on in the routine. But yeah, it's important to note that in Dan's routine, he then does something else after he makes this block disappear. He then has them put something in there and you tell them what it is they're thinking of, which is a really nice idea. Yeah. I love the presentation for this.
Yeah.
Like, I love the presentation. The 5 senses thing just makes sense. I love the joke at the beginning about, oh, I saw you put it in there.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna.
Is that why you prefer this? You prefer this with the presentation?
And lots
But
of others.
I did. Okay, so here's the advantage over Brent's, because I do prefer Brent's. I think you perform this better. But I tell you why I like Brent's. Because you've got that beautiful moment at the end where they can literally put any colour in and you don't even look at the box, you don't even touch the box and you tell them the colour. That's a nice ending, isn't it?
Yeah, I just like this more.
I know you really like the vanish, don't you, at the end?
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense as well that you've tasted it and then you've got the vanish. That does make sense. I don't know. I still prefer Brent's, but I do agree this is really smart. Let me ask you a couple of questions. It's fairly easy to do, isn't it? Because it's based on a self-working trick.
Yes.
What about the vanish? How easy is that?
That's pretty easy as long as you've got like a big enough hand for.
Well, no, we don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, I'm just saying you just need big enough hand for that. That's.
Well, you've got a big enough hand, and you're
And I'm a kid.
Yeah, exactly. So
So
most people
literally,
watching
you
this.
could have half of this and it would still work.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it's not that difficult to do. Angles, there's no angles really to consider.
No.
You can do it completely. I love the fact that on the tutorial, which is about half an hour long, Dan has a full performance, first of all, which is about 7 minutes long. Like, Dan really makes this a performance piece. You see him performing it in a bar, and he's really building it and milking every single moment of this routine, which I really like. I really appreciated that live performance being there. And Dan also goes through a whole bunch of different moves and handlings. That he says, hey, you might not necessarily need to do this, but here's an example of stuff that you can do. And he goes through how to do the move one-handed, two-handed. The presentation with the senses, when you're shaking it and smelling it, that's the perfect misdirection to do that move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's
I like it that much, I'm going to give it 100%.
You're giving it 100%.
Yeah.
I do like it. My only issue with it is he talks on the download about how that you want to point out that this side is green, and even though this looks like lime green, it's yellow. Because obviously
I don't care. I would just say lime green.
Okay, would you? Okay. I'm just thinking it would have been better if it was a completely different colour other than lime green, but maybe I'm picky now. It's very well made. It feels very robust. It's wooden.
Yeah, this is probably going to last long.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
not even a dent.
Yeah, so it's very well made. It's a really nice routine. It's perfect for walk around magic. It's completely examinable.
Yeah.
It's an instant reset. You can do it over and over again.
Because it's wood.
It's going to last long. The packaging is really nice as well. So when you're carrying this around, you just put it in there, close it up, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
It's really nice. He's giving it 100%. You say it's better than Brent's version of that trick. I actually prefer Brent's because I love that moment where it's only a 3-phase routine, and the final phase.
This is like a
5 or 6 phase routine, yeah. I just like that moment in Brent's routine where you bring it out and put it in front of you, and you don't touch it, and you say, boom, that's the colour, and pick it up, and it is. But I suppose this has got that vanish at the end, which is equally as strong, I suppose, if you look at it in that way. I'm going to give it 95%. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Are you going to get another one of these then?
I think I will.
So I'm the one who's having this.
I know you're having that. That's going straight into your gig bag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, you can have that. I'll probably get myself another one. I bet they'll have them at Blackpool. I'll probably get myself another one at Blackpool. But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend it. Even if you've got Brent's, it's worth looking at because it's a completely different routine, just using a very similar prop. So there you go. That's Mental Block by Dan Harlan and Penguin Magic. So next up, we have the Black Ops Watch by Illusionist and James Keteley, and routines and structure and stuff put on there by Eric Jones. If you're going to bring out a trick that involves coins, you want Eric Jones on the project, man. That's a real get. So what this is called Black Ops Watch, and a lot of the time, me and Ryland don't watch the trailers when we order something in to review. We just kind of get it in because we don't want to get influenced by the trailers, and then we'll watch the trailer afterwards. So although Lloyd had spoken to me about this, I didn't really get what it was. I didn't really understand what it was. Now I've watched the whole tutorial, I understand it. What we have here is we have a watch that you would wear. This is the Black Ops Watch. It's designed to look like a smartwatch, and it's designed to be very conspicuous, and you have it on your wrist, and it allows you to do a complete vanish of a coin. So it allows you to take a coin, make it disappear, and then show your hands empty. And then there's various different things you can do with it that we'll go into in a bit.
And I actually don't like this.
I know you don't like it. I'm not too keen, but I'm not as strong as you. But I think, first of all, we just do a very quick performance. But before we do, let me just explain. On the download, there's 3 sections. The first section is the trailer. The second section starts with James Keteley, who openly says he's a creator, not a performer. And so he talks about the workings behind the watch and the basic concept, and he does an unboxing. And then it goes over to Eric Jones. Eric talks about a few different ideas that he's got with the watch, which we can talk about a little bit later on. And then it flips over in the final section. There's a bonus section with Pete Turner, where he spends about 15 minutes, 20 minutes talking about pocketing, which is the concept of putting something secretly into somebody's pocket without them realising it. Because the argument is made that using this watch, you can have a complete vanish, and then you can have it appear in someone's pocket. I mean,
I don't think that actually works.
Well, pocketing. It does, I do.
No, as in, like, you're going to have to
Whoa,
take... do it ages trying to do something.
Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
take a while.
Pocketing is a valid method for performing close-up magic. The problem with it is it's got nothing to do with this trick. What you're buying with this trick is you're buying a method of making a coin disappear.
You can't make the coin reappear in someone's pocket unless...
You can if you do like some sort of switch.
Unless you get...
So, for example, one thing that Pete talks about, and one thing Pete talks about is borrowing a coin, having it signed, putting it down on the table, but switching it for another coin. That coin then gets loaded into somebody's pocket, and then this is the coin that you do the vanish with. So it is a very good section. Pete's section is very good on it's a bit of a mini masterclass on pocketing. However, that's a bonus. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for a watch that vanishes a coin. Let me do a very brief performance first of all, and then we'll talk about what we think. Ryland, what one is little pirate coins that you've got? You pirate coin. I want to show you something. There's nothing in my hands, nothing up my sleeves, nothing weird going on. All I have is a pirate coin, yeah? And what I want you to do is I want you to hold onto my wrist so I can't cheat. Can you do that for me? Because now it can't go up my sleeve. Not that I'm wearing sleeves anyway, but there's no way I can cheat. Now I'm going to take this hand, wave this hand over this hand, snap my fingers, and when I do, that coin vanishes completely. Nothing here, nothing in between the fingers. The coin is gone.
That's just stupid.
Look, let me, before you start getting all angry and ranty, let me just explain what they get on the tutorial. So what you just saw me do is the basic method. The basic method is take a coin, hold on to my wrist. It's obvious to anybody who's been in Magic for 0.3 seconds what's happening here. False transfer, load it into the watch, boom, your hands are completely empty. Now, Eric then comes on and talks about a couple of different concepts with the watch. He talks about the original vanish. Everything else that he talks about with the watch involves having the watch in this direction, which is a bit weird. Most people don't wear watches like that. He says it won't go unnoticed. Eric's an expert at this, maybe he's right. And he talks about a couple of different concepts that you can do with that. So he talks about doing a raven without a raven by having a coin there, waving your hand over and showing the coin's vanished. He talks about sitting down and having it on your knee and picking it up off your knee and having it vanish. There's a couple of, he also talks about how you can switch it for something else. So he has a coin that he takes and turns into a $100 bill. Eric's section is about 20 minutes long and he makes some good points in there and he goes through a few different bits and pieces. However, and multiple times, both James and Eric refer to this as a project. For me, 15 minutes of Pete Turner talking about pocketing and 30 minutes of James and Eric talking about ideas with a watch is not a project. There's no live performances on there at all. There's no routines really on there at all. All they talk about is technique. However, that's not the biggest problem with this watch. The biggest problem with the watch, which I have kind of a problem with, you've got a huge problem with, which is...
You can do lots of other ways without needing a watch that doesn't even work.
As soon as I showed him it, it was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. And this is the same argument you had with the last watch that came out through Illusionist. Do you remember when the Stack watch came out and you stood here when you were like 7 or something, or maybe just turned 8, and you were like, that's the stupidest watch ever, because if I want to learn a mem deck, I'd just learn it. And I was like, well, what about people that can't learn a mem deck? And you were like, try harder. Now they've brought another watch out, which is going to assist you making a coin disappear. And you've got the same argument, which is learn better technique to make a coin disappear, right? But here, let me just argue with you here for a second. Let me play devil's advocate. So what this watch does is it allows you to do a complete vanish and show your hands empty.
So what? There's lots of different ways to do that. Or you can just do... You can do like a little body turn and go... It disappears.
You can do a body turn.
You can just go...
Yes, and if you look at the hand, nobody's going to be looking over there,
You
yes.
can do... I haven't done this in ages, but something like... You can have it... There you go.
Oh. Yeah, you haven't done that in a long time. Are you trying to do the Vernon Steel? I think you need to relearn that. Yes, you are right. You can do lots. I mean, that was a nice vanish, by the way. I like the dish. That was really good. Yes, he is right. Look, here's the thing, right? There are accessories in Magic that allow you to make things disappear and make your hands look empty. When I'm at a gig, I have a magnet in my back pocket. And I have a magnetic coin, I squeeze and make the coin disappear, and my hand drops to my side and I stick it to the magnet at the back of the...
That's literally what you can just go...
Exactly.
Just a few.
There's the Raven, where you just wave your hand over and the coin disappears. There's a top it. There's a lot of different ways to do a complete vanish. There's sleeving. There's dropping it in your top pocket. There's lots of different ways to do a complete vanish. And there's pros and cons of each method. So, for example, with the Raven, the con is you have to have your sleeves down. That's the only way you can do the Raven. But the con is you can do it on the spectator's hand and you can make it look really visual. You look at the top it, the advantage is it looks really visual. The con is it's quite difficult to do and you have to wear a jacket. There's pros and cons of each thing.
Yeah, I'm giving this -100.
Hang on, well let me
Negative 100.
just give it 1 minute. The negative behind this, and this is the big negative behind this, is, in my opinion, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody involved in this product, it solves a problem that doesn't really exist. Now, I know there's going to be somebody on there going, but what about Quantum Deck? That solves a problem that doesn't really exist. It doesn't, because it introduces the concept of having a blank deck. It introduces the concept of being able to pick up the deck and deal without doing any moves as long as you're within range and the range has been extended. And I class it as a project because it's got now 5 hours of explanation with lots of different routines. There's no routines with this.
And there's lots of live performances.
But with this...
And it's examinable.
This is kind of examinable. They're not going to think to look at the watch. But here's the thing. The big negative behind this is you have to have a watch on your hand just to do this trick. So you have to have a watch on there. Just to do this trick, you have to have a watch. The watch doesn't work at all.
I would rather prefer a proper watch.
The watch doesn't work. Well, that's the thing. I've got friends, lots of friends that love watches. Chris Congreve is a perfect example. Steve Deller is a perfect example. They're not going to go to a gig. And one of the things that they do is when they go to a gig, they wear a fancy watch to show that they, are doing well for themselves or whatever. They're not going to turn up to a gig with a plastic looking watch that doesn't really look very expensive and not wear the watch that they normally wear. Eric talks about how this is going to be part of his everyday carry. Really?
Oh,
really? This is going to be part of Eric Jones, one of the greatest coin magicians of all time that has ever lived. Like, genuinely, Eric Jones, one of the greatest coin magicians that ever lives, is going to walk out the house every day with this so that he can vanish a coin.
Freaking hell.
Like, I wouldn't, I just, that baffles the mind. Like, this is, okay, so, but anyway, by the by, you've got the issue of the fact that you have to have a watch on your wrist. The other issue is, it comes with this pirate coin, right? It comes with a pirate coin, which is gimmicked, obviously, because the pirate coin can't be shown on both sides. So here's the other problem. If this was the greatest method in the world for ditching a coin, which it's not, but if it was the greatest method in the world for ditching a coin, you were like, oh my gosh, this is revolutionary. This is the best thing ever.
You can't even show both sides of the coin.
The coin that you have in play can only be shown on one side. So let's think of the routines that I want to... I would use this probably to clean up a coin routine as opposed...
Even if you're probably not going to do it anyway because it's a terrible trick. But if you did, you'll probably use it to clean up.
Clean up a coin, yeah. Okay, so let's say I was doing 3-fly, for example. This would be a perfect thing for me to do the 3-fly and then put it down and then ditch the final coin. But I can't show both sides of the coin that I'm using. I'm also stuck for using this size coin, this exact size coin.
And that's
so I can't use a silver dollar. So if I'm performing to a big table and I want to use a silver dollar, don't expose it. If I'm exactly, that's more of the size of the coin that I would use, a silver dollar size. So I now no longer can perform the routines that I want to perform if I'm going to use this watch with the type of coin that I want to use because they're too big. And also, I can't do it with any coin routines where I have to show the other side of the coin because now, ultimately, I can't show the other side of the coin because it's gimmicked. Also, I have to use a pirate coin. Exactly. Now, it comes with an extra pirate coin if you want to do some pickpocketing and load it on somewhere else. And it also comes with an extra gimmick to put it on another coin. But, you've got to get the exact perfect size coin to fit inside this watch. Haven't tried it with the $50. It might work, it might not. You get a gimmick so you can gimmick one extra coin up. But yeah, that's the major problem to me. I'm stuck using this size coin, this type of coin. I'm stuck using a coin that's gimmicked. So that eliminates 90% of the things that I want to use it for if I was going to use it. And also, the only other thing is, we've talked about other gimmicks that do the same thing. Heck, I think this is what you were trying to do. I'm not going to use that. This is what you were trying to do, Vernon Steele. You can have that coin in your pocket, just wave your hand over. I haven't got a top pocket here, but if I have, boom, it goes straight into the top pocket, complete vanish. Heck, I could do a vanish of the coin. Just wave my hand over, and I can just do a transfer and a Ramsey subtlety.
You could just do that.
Yeah.
Or you could do one of them sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing one in ages again. So you'd have that, and you just go your wave.
Are you trying to do a spellband type thing? Yeah, I know you meant Ramsey subtlety. Yeah, there's so many things that you can do with this, and also don't forget, Josh J has got a fantastic method of vanishing a coin with a watch that looks great that you can use any watch. So I could have a normal watch on my wrist and I could use Josh J's technique and I don't need to carry this around. For example, this is Josh's move. You can learn it off Triad Coins or you can learn it off Josh's book or DVD, but it's the concept of putting the coin in the hand, snapping your fingers and showing the hand has completely vanished. That's not using this coin, that's using any watch. So why would I want to get, and you can do, this watch, this is the thing that they do. You load it in there so you can show your hand empty. Heck, I could load it in underneath my watch as if I was doing like a coin in the watch and say, hold my wrist, snap, have it disappear, show my hand empty.
And that's a normal watch.
And that would be a normal watch because I've just tucked it underneath the watch instead of into the watch. The more I talk about it, the more I think it's just completely pointless, frankly.
Yeah, so now you
what about...
Now you hate it as much as...
I don't know if I hate it as much as you. You really detest this. What would you say for people... focus. Stop playing with coins. No, seriously, stop playing with the coins. I want your attention. What would you say for people that are watching this, that are thinking, well, you know what? I'm not particularly great at coin magic. This watch will help me be able to have the confidence to do a complete vanish.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah. I mean, there might be somebody out there that goes, hey, I don't mind carrying a gimmicked watch on my wrist all day if it means that I can do a vanish and make it look really clean. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you can... I'm sure it's just better if you've got a proper watch.
Okay.
And you can just do like a little normal thing.
Okay. So what are you giving it?
I think... Yeah. No, look, it's already scraped. That's how bad it is.
It is scraped, yeah, and it's only just and that's through.
You literally got this like
I've
an
just
hour ago.
No, it's a little bit longer than an hour ago.
A little bit longer than an hour.
I was watching it today while you were in school.
It's literally scraped everywhere.
That's how bad it is. What are you giving it? You said minus 100.
Minus 1,000 now.
Minus 1,000. Wow. Okay. I'm going to give it like 20%. There might be somebody out there. Who wants a very clean method to vanish a coin, and this is, and maybe my rating would have been bigger if there had been some routines on the project, but there weren't. Even Eric only put a couple of techniques across in his section, and that makes me like. You've got Eric Jones. You've obviously paid Eric to be a part of this project, right? You got Eric Jones, who creates some amazing magic. And he couldn't think of any routines to do with this watch. He couldn't put some concepts together in order to... I just think that there's a lack of substance here. The best part of this whole project is Pete Turner's section on pocketing. You could learn a lot from watching that section. That's the best part of this whole project. The rest of it, it's just completely pointless. 20%, and that's being generous. Minus 1,000% from him. Let's move on. So next up, we have one of Ryland's favourite magicians, Gustavo Raley, presenting a Pizza Magic, an original idea by Gustavo Raley, a visual routine for your kids show. You know what? Gustavo's right. This is a great kids show trick. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I would do this in my kids show in a heartbeat. What about you?
If I ever I'm allowed to do kids shows, then yeah, I would.
What do you mean if you're ever allowed to do kids shows?
Joking.
Is that because I wouldn't let you go to that gig with me the other day?
Yeah.
Are you having a go at me about that?
Yeah.
I said no, okay?
No means yes.
Huh?
No means yes.
Oh, no means yes, does it? Right, okay. Right, so what do we have here? This is a routine all based around making pizza, because let's be honest, kids love pizza, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know a single kid who doesn't like pizza? You're going to say, yes, Ronald at school hates it now. Is there somebody at school who doesn't like pizza?
Probably Leo, because he doesn't like the cheese.
Okay, so Leo doesn't like pizza. But most kids
in the world do.
Most kids love pizza. And this is a routine where you actually talk about how you've opened a pizza shop and a pizza restaurant, and it's a magical...
Would I open a pizza restaurant at the age of 9?
Yeah, why not?
I'm at school.
Well, why don't we do a performance? Because in your performance, you actually talk about how you've opened a pizza restaurant.
Only because it's the best sort of thing for an adult magician to do.
Okay, so if you were performing this tomorrow, if I sent you off to a kids show with me tomorrow and I said you've got to perform pizza magic, what would you say?
My dad's got a pizza shop and here's what he's doing. He's only just opened it. Here's the menu. Blah, 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 blah.
Fair enough. You might be a kid entrepreneur, I don't know. Let's have a look at Ryland performing this. This is Pizza Magic by Gustavo Raley.
I've opened up my new pizza restaurant. It's called Pizza Magic because I love pizza and I'm a magician. Now, because it's only just started up, we've only got a few things on the menu. We've got mozzarella, pepperoni, tomato and basil. We've got 4 cheese and Neapolitan. Okay, and I've also got these, well, for the pizzas, obviously, we've got these little dough pieces. Okay, now, if the chef is called Bob. This is the chef. He's one of the best chefs in the world. And all you have to do is you have to just give him a pizza, close it up, and then with the snap of your fingers, look, he's already done that. Now that's my sister's favourite. That's my sister's favourite pizza, mozzarella, that one is. Next we're going to do my favourite, which is pepperoni. What I'm going to do is I'll just put it in, and with the snap, look at that, it's already done. And next we'll go for my mum's favourite. It's cheese and basil. Look, I'm going to put in there, close it, snap. Right, I'm going to give him one more chance, look. Look, what I'm going to do is snap, I'm going to take it out, hoping that he's done it. Please tell me he's done it. Wait, what do you mean? What? Bob, what have you done? What have you done? Oh, he's got half a... What, you're fired.
We just realised, by the way, in that whole section at the beginning, we still had the Black Ops watch there, so we've just thrown it to the other side of the room. Actually, I'm not going to wear this. Put that in the packaging.
Well, you've still got it for the rest of the things.
I don't want it on anymore. Just take it off.
You still got it in the
Just there you go. You can have it. Merry Christmas.
bin.
Don't put it in the bin. That's very disrespectful to Illusion. Okay, yeah, just put it in the bin. Right. So what we have here, we have.
I didn't mash it up.
We have, yes, that's very good. Don't touch the hammer. We have. So focus, Ryland. Pizza Magic. I mean, you just saw a performance. I mean, it's completely self-working, right? It's very, very easy to do. It's one of those routines that packs completely
It took me
flat.
about 5 minutes to learn this.
5 minutes. You went in.
You've got to be just a bit careful about the angles. That's all. Just
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing it in a kid show and all the kids are sitting on the floor in front of you, it's totally not an issue at all.
Yeah, but if you're doing it to like adults, just say, "Can you come to my pizza restaurant?"
If you're doing it to adults, you've really got the wrong act. This is a kid show trick. This isn't one that you'd do for adults. Maybe you could get away with it. I sure as hell couldn't.
I could.
But it packs flat. It takes up literally no space, but it's well made. I think it'll last a very, very long time.
I actually put it in my case, and I just put it in like a little compartment that literally barely anything can fit in.
And it fit in there perfectly fine. Yeah, it's just a really nice trick. It's got a really interesting hook line for kid shows. I actually said to your mom, I don't think you were here when I said it, I said to your mom, we should order a few of these in for the Non-Stop Kids Entertainment.
Oh yeah, I did.
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
I think we should order like 10 of them in and give them out to some of the Non-Stop Kids entertainers.
20.
20? Oh really? It's not your money. I've got to buy 20 of these then.
I'll buy them.
Oh, you'll buy them, will you? All right, okay.
How much are they?
I don't know. It's just a really good trick. Look, that's all you need to know. There's very little to say about this. It's virtually self-working. You saw the presentation. Kids would really get into this.
Oh yeah, I would.
They would absolutely love this. It's got an interesting hook line. I love the finale. I think what you do at the end is when you've got the last piece that comes out and the it's been eaten or the piece has been taken out. I think you'd do some look no see at that point, and you'd say the final one. There you go. We got the final pizza. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's a slice? No, there's not. No. Oh, is that
and
Bob?
And then you just open it up and this is there.
Yeah. I just think it's great. I think it's a really good kids show trick that you just it's one of those things. It's a bit of a cliche. Pack small, plays big.
I don't know where the thing is now. I think I threw it under the chair when I said you're fine. But I made that little thing up because he's at the pizza slice. I said, "You're fine. Get out of here."
Yeah, kids would like that. Kids would really like that. It's only a 5-minute tutorial. That's all it needs to be. It's very well made. It'll last a lifetime. It's another winner by Gustavo. If you're a kids magician, I would highly recommend getting this. It's a really visual trick. It's got built-in comedy. It'll fit straight into your act. And it's very, very easy to do. I'm going to give it 100%. Yeah, me too. 100% for kid magicians. No, it's not trick of the week. Nowhere near trick of the week.
This one's trick of the week.
Oh, why is it always your trick that's trick of the week?
Because you give me the good ones.
Well, we like this one. Let's move on to the final trick. So the final trick we have is Picturesque by David Regal and John Gustavo. Two of my favourite creators. Two of your...
John Gustavo.
Gustavo. It's probably Gustavo. Picturesque is a stunning reinterpretation of the classic Ace assembly. Comes complete with all necessary cards and special gimmicks printed by the US Playing Card Company, plus a custom-designed vegan wallet, beautiful and breathtaking routine of card magic, produced by Penguin Magic. Now, what this is basically is, they are right, it's a reimagining of the McDonald's Aces routine. Now, David and John make a great double act on screen together. The tutorial is about an hour, and they bounce off each other really well. They're on screen together most of the time. The first 10 minutes is about the history of McDonald's Aces, which is very, very interesting. And David gets out like loads of manuscripts and stuff and talks about the history. Then after that, they go into a few different routines. They first of all talk about the classic handling, which is a John Gustavo routine, which is beautiful. The switch of the aces to the gimmicked aces is simply incredible.
Yeah, and as usual, you've got good packaging.
Yes, very good packaging, as you would imagine from Penguin Magic.
With a little magnet.
With a little magnet, yeah. Focus. Right, then after that, David Regal goes through his routine, which again is very, very clever. And David's got some really interesting takes on the vanish segment. A lot of John's vanishes are just kind of by the by, but David's got some really interesting takes on the actual vanishes. And then you've got John's stand-up version of McDonald's Aces, which he first published, or I first read about it in 1 Degree, which was his book. And
we've got 1 Degree.
Yeah, we have. It's been living in the toilet recently because that's what.
Not in the toilet, the bathroom.
Bathroom, sorry.
Why would you put a book in the toilet?
Good point. And it's called.
It'll just get flushed down.
It's called Vino Aces, and it was originally published as Vino Aces in 1 Degree. It's since been reinterpreted in here. It's a beautiful version of McDonald's Aces. Great for parlour, great for small stage shows, great for virtual performances. And it uses 4 wine glasses, and the cards are dropped into the 4 wine glasses, and you do McDonald's Aces, but you're raising it up. So rather than having it down on a mat, you're raising it up so everyone can see it, which is a really great idea that, John came up with an absolute winner. I'm going to perform the classic version. So this is the classic version. Check the switch out in this. The switch is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to perform the classic version of this.
It's very clever how it works.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about everything. Well, I'm going to show you something with a little wallet, and inside this wallet I actually have 16 cards. Now, these are actually the most important cards from a deck of cards because they are the chord cards, exactly.
Ace, jacks, kings and queens.
Well, if you're going to play poker and you're going to try and get a royal flush and spades, you'd want these cards, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you something with them, though. This is not a card game. I'm going to show you some magic using the kings, queens, and jacks, and also the aces. Now, the aces are the most important cards in the deck.
Especially the ace of spades.
Especially the ace of spades, exactly. Now, I'm going to...
it's actually like a leader card.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to show you something with the aces, okay? So we've got the ace of hearts, we've got the ace of clubs, we've got the ace of diamonds, and we've got the ace of spades, yeah?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4 aces and I'm going to put them in a diamond formation on the table,
Okay.
like that. Now, the rest of the cards aren't really that important. I'll give them a bit of a mix-up, but they're not important. All that's important, really, are these cards here, the 4 aces, okay?
Yeah.
Now, there's a rule in Magic, never tell the audience what you're going to do ahead of time. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you something amazing. And now, you said earlier on that the ace of spades is probably the most important card. And you're right, because it's known as the magician's card. It's also known as the leader card. And there's a reason why. Let me show you. I'm going to put 3 cards here on top of this ace. I'm going to put 3 cards here on top of this ace, 3 on top of this ace, and 3 on top of this ace. But this one over here, the ace of spades, I'm just going to put it nearer you for a second, okay? Now watch, we start off with the ace of diamonds. And if I twist like this, what actually happens is that ace of diamonds disappears completely without leaving a trace. I'll try it again, this time with the ace of clubs. You know exactly what's going to happen. The ace of clubs goes right there, face up. Now, nothing happens till I twist, and yet when I twist, that card vanishes completely, leaving us with just 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. No ace. Okay. The last one is this one. This is the hardest one of the lot. And the reason this is the hardest one of the lot is because, unlike the others, you know exactly what's happening here, don't you? You know exactly what I'm going to do. Don't watch this one. Don't watch this one. Don't watch this one. Watch this one. As this one vanishes as well. And all 4 aces have gone. No aces, no aces, no aces. And the leader packet was over there in front of you the whole time. And there's a reason for that, because the aces have jumped to join the leader.
That was a good performance.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, this is just killer. I mean, you know, I know that I've read some of the comments online, and some people have said, "Oh, what am I paying my money for? It's just McDonald's aces." There's so much more than just McDonald's aces in here. This is a project, genuinely a project on so many different things to do.
Did they put it as a trick or project?
I think it's more of a project thing, really, to be honest.
Yeah, did they put it as a trick?
No, that's a project. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a project.
Because you, oh yeah, thank you. There you go. What you have here is you have this little wallet, which is really nice. It's got nothing to do with the trick, but it's a really nice wallet. And that's one of the things that I agree with. I've always done McDonald's aces from a deck, and it's why I haven't done it for a long time.
Yeah,
the reason I haven't done it for a long time is because I don't want to carry the gaps around in the deck.
Yeah, this is a really nice wallet that you can just take the cards out and.
Yeah, exactly. Nice I love the idea.
You just fold it up, and you've got a little thing that will keep it safe.
I love the idea of having the cards in there and doing it almost like a packet trick, and then putting the cards away afterwards. When you finish and you've got the 4 aces, they're going to want to examine the 4 aces, not the rest of the cards.
And you can.
And I also like the idea of using court cards instead of random cards. And
there's only one set of cards you can't actually examine.
Yeah, exactly. So I absolutely love this. I think this is really clever. If you don't do McDonald's aces, you really should get this, because this is a masterclass in how to do it properly. If you, like me, and you do McDonald's aces, but you haven't done it in a long time, this will reinvigorate your love of McDonald's aces. I am definitely doing Vino aces. I learned it from his book, but for some reason I never did it. Watching him perform it makes me definitely want to do it. But also, I think I'm going to be doing this in quite a few situations. I love the idea of having this little wallet with me, and just literally going into it at a moment's notice. I think it's great. I really like it. Anytime I get to see David and Jonathan on anytime I get to see David and John on stage together or in a project together, I absolutely love, because they are so knowledgeable. They're so entertaining. Yeah, I'm going to give this 98%. I think it's really good. So 98% from me. It's 100%. I tell you what, man, Penguin are kicking ass right now, aren't they? I mean, they are literally knocking it out of the park. The last few things that we've seen have been killer. Yeah. Absolutely killer. Hope, you know, let's long may it continue.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work. Penguin Magic, well done. And Picturesque, another winner.
And there's another review show in the bag. That's another review show. In the bag. That's another review show. In the bag.
I prefer when we do a review show special and you're not jumping up and down and you're hitting the table instead. That is another review show in the bag. Guys, thank you very much once again joining me and Ryland right here on Magic TV. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with the reviews? Do you disagree with the reviews? Do you think Ryland's talking rubbish? Because he does do that sometimes.
Sure.
Let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you want to follow us on...
This is Trick of the Week.
Okay, I'll let you have that as Trick of the Week. Well done, Dan Harlan, Trick of the Week. If you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to follow Ryland on Instagram. A lot of the stuff that we put on the review show gets posted on Instagram first, on his channel, and then gets put on the review show later on. You have just hit over 300 followers. Not bad, considering you only set up your channel a month ago or a couple of months ago. And you're also on YouTube. You're on over 500 subs on YouTube
like
as well.
More than 3 a day.
Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing well, mate.
Yeah,
You're doing well. And we will be back again next Wednesday with another... we're going to be back next Wednesday with another Craig and Ryland review show. And also, this... I'm thinking when this comes out. Yeah, so this Sunday... Ryland is joining me as a special one-off on the review show special this Sunday, and we're going to be looking at Perseus Acromanus' Orion publications. We're going to be doing a review on all of his stuff.
This is what I do on the review show special now. That's a review show special in the bag.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll see you again next week. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be back with a Magic Stuff at 9 o'clock, Shorts at 2 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock, a Magic Live. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.